Welcome to Bears Banter. Chicago Bears fall tonight to the Los Angeles Rams. Was it 34-14?
20 points.
Man, so tonight on the broadcast, you have myself, Bernard Muhammad, Guy Moore, Jaye Beasley, Tammy Harris, and sitting in for Keith Flournoy, Mike Quick Alton. How y'all doing tonight? Probably pissed off.
I
wore my Khalil Mack jersey because at least we can show what his number looked like.
Hey, like me, I got my little Khalil too.
Did they call it?
Like he got the white jersey on though.
Did they call his name tonight?
He had one tackle.
They just did on the broadcast.
On the broadcast, on the recap.
Yeah.
I wore this jersey because I was trying to channel them a running game.
We're gonna talk about that, Tammy. We're gonna talk about that because that was abysmal. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, one of the frustrating things about a game like today, is as you watch that game. To me, there was a sense of panic early on by Nagy. I didn't understand those two times early in the game when he went for it. And I think there was probably like about somewhere on there on the 40-yard line. But that was not a situation to go for because you really didn't have good momentum going into those plays. So guess what? You punt the ball and you make the team go the whole distance. And they was fortunate with those two times they did that they were not down further in that game at that point because to me, I know we was talking back and forth. And it felt like that the Bears were actually down more than what they were at halftime. The halftime score was 13-7, but it felt like it was about 28-7. The way the performance was going. What any of y'all have to say about the game? Could we talk about it in general before we kind of get into the format of what happened in this game?
Rule number 101. Nagy called no offensive plays. Matter of factly, if y'all smart enough as Bears players, when the game about to start, tell them to go run in there like the Three Stooges, like look at the grouse, have them go in the equipment room and lock him in there.
Well, I'm still looking for our defense. At some point, they're gonna have to show up this year. It was just bad. They shredded us up, man. It was just so bad. But that's what happens when you got a guy whose name is in a Michael Jackson song calling the defense. Mama say, mama side, do my this. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's not a real defensive coordinator, man. Come on.
Mama say, mama side to side.
Right. Come on, man. That's not a real defensive coordinator. Come on. That's all
I just want to say, I just want to say that as bad as it looked in the first half, they was actually in the game. They were actually in the game. And somebody needs to take their play sheet from Matt Nagy and be like, dude, this is above your pay grade. This is above your pay grade. You know, you the head coach, and I like you as a head coach. And I've told y'all this before. I like you as a head coach. I just don't like you as a play caller. And bruh, what you're doing right now, it makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. How do you give David Montgomery 2 carries in the first quarter and he gains 55 yards? And then you don't go back to him no more.
Same thing he did last year.
Yeah.
That was the same thing he did last year.
Let me bring in one of our guests right quick. Jay. It's Jay, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's happening, Jay?
Jay Froster.
I like that, brother.
Hey, y'all, that's my coworker. That's my coworker.
Okay.
He a railroader.
You
guys doing?
Y'all better come up with something. Y'all cut work tomorrow.
So, Jay, what did you see in that game that you want to express on this show?
Kind of followed along with Jaye Beasley's comments. Matt Nagy's play calling is just absolute garbage, especially when it comes down to when it needs to be made. Those early 4th down plays, I understand You want to take a shot, you got short yardage to try to make, but why is everything going to the side? I called it when the Rams had their 4th down. I'm like, this is going to be a 12-yard pass on a gain on 1st down. And what did they make? 10? So it was a couple yards off, but it knew it was going to be coming. This defense, I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and that's just disheartening at all. And I'd have no hope for the rest of the season right now if it continues.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Hey, hang in there for a minute, Jay. I'm gonna take you off screen, but I bring you on back on if you want to hold on. Okay.
Sure.
Dude, with that beard, man. That's a fly beard right there, man.
Wait, so I want. Man, I got so much to say.
What you got?
But I'm gonna start with this. Jay, you say you like him as a head coach. I liked him as a head coach initially, but not a play caller. At this moment, I don't even like him as a human being.
That's kind of harsh, Tammy.
What just happened? What just happened? I turned for 1 second.
Like, oh Jesus. His play calling is god awful, and I cannot believe like some people in the group actually said that his play calling was not that bad. I find that hard to believe that anybody could watch that game and actually think that. And then the defense was horrible, and they said that, oh, it's just the safeties. But I'm like, no, the entire defense sucked. Yes, the safety sucked, but the defense sucked. Our defense had almost half the tackles of the Rams defense. It's ridiculous. We had no tackles for lost yardage. The defense was playing too loose and too lax, and they need to be seriously whipped into shape. But this freaking Mickey Mouse, rinky-dink play calling and this weak freaking defense is gonna make me scream.
No,
but see, it's to me with Nagy again, like I said last year, it's no rhyme or reason. It's like he throw darts. Like, okay, I'm gonna call this play, and then I'm gonna call this. Where's the rhythm? There is no rhythm. Yes. There is no rhythm with his play calling. And when you don't have a rhythm as a play caller, you can't succeed. And that's the thing right now with him. And I'm like, okay, this whole thing, like, yeah, I'm taking him back over the play caller. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good.
You know what? The sad part about it is you look at the contrast between the Bears and the Rams. I'm going to go PG with this because I can't help myself. That dude that meet that girl, baby, I'm going to blow your back out, break you off some, and then show up to the party like this, boing, 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 boing. I like this, boing, boing, boing. And you look at the Rams, I was on the text messages like, damn, well, the Rams are playing 30 in the box. It was a joke, but that's the difference. When you know what your personnel is capable of or not, and you look at practices, that's what these practices and these preseason games are for. KYP, know your personnel. If you knew Johnson and Jackson had a problem with knowing that there ain't nobody behind them, put them all in the box. You know what I'm saying? Or just now you can't worry about whether somebody's behind you or not. Or wonder. Yeah, but the truth of the matter is the Rams are like, yeah, we got a Pro Bowl corner, we got that, but let's close in, keep everybody in front of us.
Hey, guess what? Since you mentioned that, give me a second, Jay. Let me share this play right here, which is the epitome of what you saw tonight in this game.
Roll out.
Rolling left, after the fake, he's going to air it out. Deep downfield, there's a man open, it's caught at the 15-yard line.
Same difference. That's what it looked like in real time. That's what it looked like in real time. Defending.
Yeah, man.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The Rams beat us by 20 points. I still don't think they that good.
No,
because they showed me nothing that makes them elite.
Excuse me, Jay. I told you
Go ahead, Mike.
I told you Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald was not on the injury report, and they were going to be big difference makers in this ball game.
Aaron Donald showed up.
But here's what you said.
Aaron Donald showed up at the end of the game when he finally got a sack.
No, he contributed to other people getting sacks. Other people got sacks because of what he did. But here's what you said. And to make your point is that you said it was going to take Matthew Stafford a little while to get accustomed to this new
I did say that. Yes, I did.
He still blazed us for 34.
Yes,
So damn, if he gets better than this, oh my God.
Yes, I did.
He might be invited to the because the Tom Brady Invitational, you can only have one NFC.
You can only have one.
And we already know who's going from the NFC.
So let's get to that actual video of that play. It kind of represents the epitome of busted coverages that you saw several times tonight, which is one of the things we talked about when we talked about preseason. I know we mentioned there's not much you could take for preseason, but one of the things we did come to a conclusion on preseason that we were very concerned about the Bears secondary. And what we saw tonight, and I know that I joked about it in preseason, that in preseason guys was catching the ball and there was no defender on the screen. We saw that several times tonight where it was no defensive player on the screen. And even on that play, not only they was running to catch up with the guy, they ran past him on the ground.
It's called consistency. They sucked in and they suck now.
And wait, I just want to say, Mike, Matthew Stafford looked so good because our defense was so bad. Not because
the reason why Matthew Stafford looks so good is he's had about 3,000-4,000 yard seasons. So, it's
I'm not saying that he was terrible. I'm just saying he was better than he was because our defense sucked.
Well, let's go to this. Let's just go to this. Everybody in the NFC North's defense looked bad today. Okay, so it's a consistency thing in the conference. Okay, so it's not just.
So what we 0-4? So what we 0-4 in the conference? Everybody in the conference.
Everybody lost today.
Everybody lost today.
I said with the Packers. Packers cost me $700 because they lost.
Okay, let's get to the specific of what happened today. I mean, what actually happened in this game on why the Bears lost this game. I'm gonna bring in Jay real quick. I don't want to have him holding too long, and I'm gonna start with the other Jay. Hey, Jay, what do you think actually just happened today in this game that the Bears lost?
Too many to count, to be honest, in my opinion. But outside of,
I like him, man.
Outside of this was Brown at the beginning of the game, just so you guys know. But Nagy getting in his own way, coming down with some of these play calls and taking them right out of it. He's talking about he wants to run his offense. I don't see an offense. I see the same thing. Mitch could have ran this year. Yeah. Whether or not Justin came in and played this game to begin with, maybe he scrambles out of one or two of those sacks. I don't see him with what was called. I don't see it changing. I don't see much of a difference. I don't think Dalton played a terrible game, but
he didn't.
He didn't. And I think I made a comment on one of them. Was there a pass over 10 yards, 12 yards? I don't remember seeing a single pass over 12 yards. Everything was dink and dunk, get the ball out quick. Now, that's something that we haven't really seen too much over the last couple of years. Don't get me wrong. So at least kudos to that. But where was the forward game? Dave Montgomery looked great. Why? And it's been one of my big issues over the last couple of years with any of their running backs. You start making forward movement with the run game, and then he passes it off to somebody else or takes it away and then tries to get cute with these little short dink and dunks. Or if I see that jet sweep one more time, I'm going to break my TV, I swear.
That's
on the defensive side of the ball, you guys look so lost, so confused on where they were supposed to be. Eddie Jackson, what the actual hell are you doing on a football field right now? You can't how do you not touch the guy? You were standing right there. I mean, the missed tackles.
What you talking about when he was on the ground or the one when he ran right by him? Which one are you referring to? Right now?
Both of them.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to figure out, Jay. I was trying to get them in order.
One of them. We'll start with the first one to begin with.
Okay.
You were right there. How do you not you touch a finger? That's all you got to do. But he overcommits when he's going to make his tackles. A lot of these guys are just out of position. They're confused. They don't know what to go. So, I mean, the list is too long to get into any one specific thing, to be honest.
Okay.
Now, overall, did the Rams – I don't think the Rams looked elite, like Jay said. They didn't look scary.
Right.
Donald was there on a lot of plays, but so was Mac. And so I see a lot of comparison between those two. But ultimately, Larry Borum looked good for a couple plays that he was in.
Yeah, he did. He
didn't look too bad.
He did.
But this offensive tackles scare me. The line, the inside is fine. The outside is what's frightening me. This defense, after what I saw today, I just don't know.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Jay. Hey, quick, what you got? What you think happened tonight?
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
What I think happened tonight, it was what we said on the pregame show. Our identity on offense didn't show up. I mean, we run the ball, we run it right down there, we get the turnover. Dalton throws interception, and we panic. It's like, the hole in the Titanic happened, and we got to try to force everything, and that's not what we have to do. I mean, turnovers are a part of the ball game, and I said it the other day. Defensively, you have to set the tone on defense. Those guys, we can say what we want to, and this was game one, and those guys are coming off of not really playing in the preseason, and I'm talking about LA. But LA actually had some guys who were running wide open in our secondary. So either they're wide open and our secondary sucks, or they're just wide open because of the routes. And I saw a couple of the routes from Cooper Kupp. Man, listen, it don't matter who was there. That they got that whole friendship thing going on. But like I said, Mama Sadu Madusa, he needs to get it together, because I told you that when you go from being the donut and coffee guy and they give you the defensive coordinator job, you got to come on with it. And from this showing here, we got a long way to go.
There is no way
they got a long way.
Guy should be running down the field that wide open. This is the NFL. This ain't Pop Warner. This ain't Little League. There is no way a guy should be running downfield wide open like that in the NFL. And it's tragic. I take y'all like tragic. This is tragic. And they're going to have to figure this out. I don't know what it's going to take. Like I told y'all, veteran safeties that's in place. Our corners are young, but veteran safeties, that was in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah. Tragic. Hey, Guy, what is going on with the defense in your opinion?
Let's put it this way. Eddie Jackson is part of the Jackson family, but he was one that didn't get beat. You can tell.
Oh, he got beat.
No, not like he was supposed to, because all the Jacksons that got beat is millionaires. Even Tito. Tito was probably screaming like, man, that probably ain't my brother. Rule number one, I know everybody dogging the style and stuff like that, but what he called the plays, you got to run it. To me, what's unacceptable was on that last one. I can't remember who it was. Grabbed Cooper Kupp's jersey or whatever it was. He grabbed his jersey or whatever it was, and he turned around and looked like he was surprised. Like, ain't nobody back there? Everybody on that squad should come in Monday, get their playbook, and by Friday, every last play that they run, everybody on defense better know everybody's position in their assignment. There's no way in the world. I look at Jackson and Johnson. They're the ones that got burned first, because your boy Beard left and they both went that way, and he went over to the other side of the field, both of them standing there. And I'm like, really? We could go with secondary. We can go with play calling. I personally, if I were running plays for, you got your scripted with 15 to 18 plays, my first 15 plays would be, let's see, run, pass, run. If that's 15. But they just weren't consistent. I know you're saying, but they weren't consistent, man. It's like, Montgomery was getting off. And then you turn around and pass the ball, and he don't see the ball for a few minutes. And then you give him some BS play, and he gets, he had to scramble for those little 3 yards. And I'm looking like our identity for our history of the Chicago Bears, we're synonymous with running backs. Every team, no matter how bad they were and they couldn't pass, they gave it to the running backs. That's why we had some great running backs. But yet you got a guy here that got 100 yards on limited touches. Imagine if he'd had about 6 or 7 more touches. It could have been different, but I don't know.
Hey,
Once
Tammy,
again,
Tammy, what you think is going on with the defense? Hold on, Jay.
Go ahead.
They soft. Too many blown coverages. They're playing too lax. I think they need to go old school and make them do some suicides and carry some bricks and maybe and maybe even give them the paddle. Like maybe even give them the paddle until they get their act together. And Virginia needs to give it to the side.
Mama say, Mama side, do my.
You know, it's just they're soft, they're weak. I'm like they're lethargic. Like even when they had a long rest, when we had that long drive that didn't result in nothing, but we had that long drive, they were off the field for a long time. The defense should have been rested, and then when they got on there, they still was traveling. Like they still weren't covering people, still blown coverages, still missed tackles, still not staying with their man. They playing too lax.
Right. Hey, Jay, what you got, Jay?
I actually want to go back to the offense because that's my thing. The bottom line is, how is Dame? And I was texting y'all doing the game. Why is Damon Williams in the game? You got Montgomery. You got to have him lathered up. You got to have him lathered up. Get it going. Like Ezekiel Elliott be like, feed me. I don't understand what Nagy's game plan is, which is what I said last year. He just throw darts at the wall and be like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Where is your game plan? And I feel like that's where the Bears are failing right now. They are failing right now because the play caller doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. He panics. You're down 7-0, and now it's like, forget the run. I'm down 7-0.
Yeah.
Stick to the game plan. But what is your game plan? And that's the bad part about what's going on right now with the Bears, with Nagy calling the plays.
Okay. Hey, quick. I mean,
Yes,
what
sir.
do you think? I know you was a defensive player. What do you think happened on defense tonight?
A lot of blown assignments. Probably
A
not
lot of
knowing
blown
where to go.
assignments.
That one play that I was talking about where the guy just runs straight up the middle of the field and catches the ball. It looks like we were in cover 2. Then it looks like we were in man. Then it looks like we was in I don't know. It just looks. And some of this stuff comes back from last year. The guys are different, but the defense is kind of the same. No pressure up front. I mean, I sat there and watched Akeem Hicks make one play,
pressure up front.
and he was sitting there talking about, yeah. I'm like, dude, you made one
Beating
play.
his chest. Beating his chest.
One play. And he was beating his chest because they got to delay a game. I was like, come on, man.
Right.
The defense, here's what I'm gonna say about the defense. I'm about to play the dozen, so somebody gonna get mad. But here we go. It's like going to a step show thinking that the Bruz is gonna be there and the Iota show up.
Hey.
You're like, what just happened?
What just happened?
Yeah, that's how it is.
What just happened?
So, hey, since we're talking about Montgomery. Montgomery had 16 carries, 108 yards. The way that game was going, that game was not out of reach going into the third quarter. So he definitely should have had more than 16 carries. Jay just sent me a note about he could have easily had 105 yards. That's absolutely correct. Dalton passed for 25. He was 25 out of 38. I'm sorry, I didn't get the amount of yards he passed for. Matt Stafford was 20 out of 26 for 321 yards. Darrell Henderson for Darrell Henderson had 16 carries for 70 yards, so he really didn't start getting yards until late in that game. But what I think I saw as far as overall in this game, defensive, what I saw was I didn't really see a consistent pass rush, really no pass rush. And I look at the stat line, Khalil Mack had 1 tackle. I did see Akeem Hicks being a little disruptive. I didn't see anything from the secondary at all, and I didn't see many plays from the linebackers. Roquan Smith had about maybe 6 to 8 tackles, but the rest of the line, I saw Ogletree a little bit, but the safeties was horrible. Too many miscommunication, and I swear Eddie Jackson, I'm not sure where he's getting his tackling from, because when I play football, you tackle from the waist to the knees, right?
Business decisions.
Okay, in the current NFL, you tackle from the chest. You tackle up high in the current NFL. I'm not sure what NFL Eddie Jackson is, because he tackles around the ankle, which is just a wish and a hope. I mean, most of the tackles he made tonight were all around the ankle, where he's about to get dragged and he's just able to trip the guy because why he holding his ankle, right? If they just out of those tackles, what you got, Jay?
But again, to hold on, to go back to the offense, you said Montgomery had 16 carries, right?
16 carries, 108 yards.
Okay. All Matt Nagy said during the spring and all that, he was going to get 20 to 25 touches, right? Yep. Why is Damon Williams in the game? When Montgomery is actually moving the ball. Montgomery is moving the ball. I mean, his first carry, like I said, was 41 yards?
Yep.
Why is Damian Harris in the game? I think this is his name, Damian Harris. Why is he in the game? Why are you spelling Montgomery after 1 carry? It makes no sense. Rhyme or reason. I'm trying to figure out why is Matt Nagy calling plays. Tammy, I know that's appealing to you. Baby girl. I know that's appealing to you, but I don't understand it.
I've been saying that since last season. But Bernard, just to go back to the defense real quick, we had 40-something tackles, and the Rams had 82. So the defense just did not show up. So it wasn't just the safeties; it was everybody. But the safeties were bad. Trust me. I know. I saw. But it was horrible. It was painful. But Nagy on play calling, I'm sorry. The switching back and forth between quarterbacks was just idiotic. His play calling broke up any potential for finding a rhythm in the game. I don't think it was good for the players' morale or confidence. So he just blew it.
Well, okay. Hey, Jay, Jay, what did you think about what Tammy just said in reference to them when they just brought Justin Fields in? It appeared to be, other than that one boot, it seemed like once the Bears got into the red zone, they was going to put him in for at least one play. What did you think about what was going on there?
To be honest, I mean, what happened when they brought Justin Fields in was actually what I feared the most. It was going to be like New Orleans and Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. We know what they're going to do. It just didn't make any sense to me. Why give us a little taste? It felt like, and even I was watching a little bit of a post-game show with Olin and them. It's like, why are you giving us a little taste? Don't give us a taste. Either play the man or don't.
Or don't. Play him or don't.
One or the other. Now,
play him or don't. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just my thing.
All I saw with, I loved seeing Justin in there. When the run he had for the touchdown was a good. That was what we want to see. That's what we're expecting to see coming in the future. All that other stuff, Dalton could have done. Hell, Montgomery could have done it. Anybody could have done that. We didn't need to see Justin do the Mitch plays. I don't want to see him do the Mitch plays. I don't want to see Taysom Hill and Drew Brees with Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. Play the man, run the passes, where was Jimmy Graham on those red zone plays? I didn't see Jimmy in the first half of the game. I didn't see him until what? End of the third quarter? when they needed that first down? Where was he at? He's supposed to be your red zone guy.
If you ain't gonna play him, why you on the roster?
Right.
If you ain't gonna play him, why you on the roster?
With Justin Fields, yes, we all want to see him. We all want to see.
We got questions. It's questions. It is questions to be asked with this coaching staff right now. With this roster, we got questions.
Oh no,
we got questions. We have questions.
What questions you get, Jay? All I say is, we're talking about Justin and Andy. Justin had one touchdown. Andy was responsible for another. So, hey, at the end of the day, Justin Fields could have lost this ball game just as well as Andy. So that's all I'm saying. Put the man in the game. Stop playing around. I'm tired of looking at, when they show Andy in the face. I'm tired of looking at the porn stash. Man, let's just play man. You know what I'm saying? That mustache just make you look like a loser. You know what I'm saying? Just I had to change glasses, man. I got to see better, man.
But Mike, man. all I'm saying is put the man in the game.
That's all I said. Because you look at all the rookies that play today.
Yeah.
A lot of them lost. Most of the second-year guys won today. I get that. But they all played last year.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you something, and I know Bernard know me. I'm going to tell you something. Hashtag Jalen Hurts. I want Jalen Hurts on our team so bad last year. Jalen Hurts balled out today. That's a whole other subject. It's Banter.
You know what?
So I ain't going to talk about that.
Our brother Keith Flournoy said something that was really, really, really prolific earlier. He was talking about, we were talking about the cohesiveness is like, why are you putting Justin Fields in there? But the one point he made, which was really interesting, he was like, when Justin Fields came there, you saw the look on the defense. They was like, oh, damn. It was that look. It wasn't even like, it wasn't like dogs there. As soon as Justin come in there, they was like, uh-oh, here we go. So just like you said, Justin Fields could have lost the game for him, but I tell you what, though, I do believe that the outcome would have been different because, first of all, Justin Fields would have checked his things, checked his check downs, and would have took off. And he kept, and even just his presence when he came out there, just to look. If you go back and look at the tape, look at what how the defense's whole moxie was when he showed up. It's like, oh man, here we go. With Dalton, it was almost like, okay, they line ain't gonna hold up. We gonna get to them, and they gonna throw some little pop stuff. But two MVPs we got. We got Montgomery as an MVP, and the ball boy. When Larry Borum got hurt, he sent that dude down to Roscoe's, and he ran down Rosecrans and went the wrong way and made the Century Boulevard to Roscoe's and got his order back. He's my co-MVP.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you know what? Let's move to the let's real quickly move to the bragging rights of the game. We got I got a little typo right there. Let me see if I can fix that right quick. But we got Tammy 0-1. We have Tammy 0-1, Jaye 0-1.
That's why you ain't gonna get a caramel cake.
Huh?
That's why you ain't never getting a caramel cake.
That's why I got that win tonight, though.
You got the win.
He's never gonna get that caramel
tonight,
cake. I'm 1-0. Guy 1-0. Plank is 1-0, and Quick is 1-0. I'm gonna recap some of the scores that we had.
1-0.
Quick and myself had the Rams winning 24-10. Plank had the Rams winning 25-13. Guy had the Rams winning 24-13. Tammy had the Bears winning 2017. Jay had the Bears winning 13-10. So right now, it's three of us ranked one. We at least got some victories in this division, unlike the NFC North where they got 0 victories.
Man,
zero.
They almost had a blank in the NFC East.
The NFC North got shut out today. For real.
It's not surprising because at the end of the season, you could get a 9-8 in the Central and go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Pretty much right now, you can go 9-8 in the North and go to the playoffs.
If it wasn't for the Bros, the NFC East would have been blank too.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts,
Hey, let's
Hashtag
Anytime
Jalen
you deal with the
Hurts.
Browns.
hey
Hashtag Jalen Hurts.
let me get some grades from y'all on the coaching staff.
Oh man,
I'll start off right off the bat. I give the offense. I get an offense a C. I give it a C. A C. I get a defense. I get a defense a D minus. Matter of fact, I get a defense a F. I get a defense a F, and I give the offense a C plus. What you got? Quick.
What about the coaching? You didn't say. Oh, you have about the coaching.
I'm talking about the coaching.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
coaching.
Offensive coaching, defensive coach. Correct.
Yeah. Well, the defense gets definitely a F. Special teams to me gets like maybe a B minus. You know, they had a little couple returns here and there. And the offense, as long as Nagy is calling plays, they will always get an F from me. They always will. I mean, if you look back and if you've watched the Kansas City Chiefs, he's trying to make the Bears the Chiefs without the Chiefs players.
You don't have that personnel. You don't have that personnel.
I mean, you're trying to run several passes and all that type of stuff with Allen Robinson. He's not that guy.
He sure ain't.
I mean, I'm like, what are we doing? And I just watched the Chiefs game, and I'm like, this looks familiar, but we ain't got the same players. They got three guys that run 4-2. It's different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Tammy, how do you grade the coaching today?
Well, special teams, I kind of agree with Mike, as hard as that is to believe.
What?
I'll give the special teams a B minus. They that first drive we should have scored. Like what they did on that first drive was beautiful, but it was blown. Defense, I give them an F, and offense, I give them a double F minus.
Okay, thank you, Tammy. Hey, I'd like to welcome American Male. Welcome back, American Male. He was a faithful watcher of this show last year on YouTube. Thank you for coming back, American Male. I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch TV. Jay, how do you grade the coaching staff?
Coaching staff, defense, get a D minus. No pressure. No pressure at all. Khalil Mack, I love you, bro, but where you at, man? Where you at? I don't see no pressure. Our corners are young and bad right now. So offense, I want to give y'all a C, but I'm still gonna give y'all a D. And Andy Dalton, you didn't play bad. You didn't play bad.
But this the coaching, not the offense.
It's coaching. I see you in Plank grading on the curve.
I know.
Not a curve.
So we going on curve. Well, I've already told y'all how I feel about Nagy calling plays. So if we going on the coaching, I give that an F. I give that an F. It's bad. It's bad. And you know the sad thing about it was I sat up and watched after work. I sat up and watched every game, and I was just like, I just hope the Bears can just shock the world and just be good. Just be good, not excellent. Just be good.
That's all Looney Tunes movies.
Y'all lost by 20. Y'all lost by 20 freaking points.
JB shocked me by catching a pass in stride.
So yeah, sad.
Catch a pass in
so
stride.
Yeah, so F and F for me. F and F for me.
F and F. Okay, guy, what you have as far as coaching?
We'll start off. Special teams a B minus. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. They the only ones that look like they read their playbook. Offense, you get 14 points.
Coaching.
I'll probably go give it up. Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, the plays that they ran, I got to give them a D plus. I'm giving the defense an incomplete grade because it'd be disrespectful to even give them a grade. I thought it's complete. I can't even give them the finger. You know, and that's bad. That's real bad. If I don't give you the finger, at least you know I care. But after what I saw tonight, no pressure, Guys turn around looking for Santa Claus behind them and ain't nothing there but an end zone and a dude passing them up. I ain't gonna even give him the finger. I'm gonna give him an incomplete, which is worse than F in my book.
Okay. Well, what you got, Quick?
Oh, I graded them bums. I mean, I
did you
graded the
already?
Bears already. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what you got, Jay?
I'm gonna have to give that offense a D, mostly because of the fact that you just keep getting in your own way. You know, you keep calling these plays that nobody's surprised to see. You know, I mean, the only reason they're not failing is because Montgomery did what he did. You know, like, you know, Jay's talking about shock me by catching a pass in stride. I haven't seen much of that. The defense just failing. This is supposed to be he's supposed to be a Vic Fangio disciple. I didn't see any of it. If Lovie Smith was dead, he'd be turning over in his grave with that secondary right now. That's just horrible. Special teams, yeah, they get a B, but it's kind of hard to grade them since they weren't really on the field very much.
Yeah.
But you know,
got
like you said,
kickoff returns.
Well, yeah, and that's why they get to B. I mean, that first drive, like you know, like we were talking earlier, they did what they should have done. They did what they did. We should have scored on that. There's no doubt about that. You know, coaching wise, you know, B for the special teams, D and F. That's Valen. That was horrible.
You know what?
Hey, while you playing, Lovey had a couple of interceptions tonight with that cover 2, and he had a couple of interceptions tonight on that cover 2.
I mean, these guys on defense
with Texas.
These guys on defense just don't know where they're at. Eddie Jackson, he's tackling by the ankles because he's overcommitting and he's behind everybody, and he has no other place to grab but the ankles.
That's a good point.
Hey, my grandson made a tackle on a dude 60 pounds heavier than him that looked better than Jalen Jackson. All I saw was legs. He dived for his thighs, and when he grabbed him, I used to always tell him, because the guy's bigger than you, you can't tackle him high. Grab him in his legs, hold on, and twist him.
That's right.
And he was just doing, the dude was laid out on the field. He walked away. And I was like, that's my boy. We could have used Cam in the secondary. So, Cam, if you're watching, keep staying in your books, get them good grades, get your little parachute on and run them sprints. Bears might be giving you a call tomorrow.
Now, you know, this makes you wonder. This makes you wonder when the Bears was trying to get below the salary cap, that one of the casualties of the salary cap was Kyle Fuller. And one of the reasons they lost Kyle Fuller for really 2 reasons. One, because they paid Andy Dalton the salary they paid him. You know, okay, of course you didn't know you was going to get Justin Fields. The other thing was, I like Jimmy Graham, but if this is all you're gonna use Jimmy Graham for, then you should have kept Kyle Fuller, because
he had a pick today.
I mean, you brought him in the game. The first time you brought him in the game, I want to say it was late in the third quarter. You're not bringing him in. They did the same thing last year. They didn't bring him in much on goal line possessions. Very rare when you saw it, because one of the complaints I had last year was they threw to Cole Kmet a lot on the goal line, like they was trying to establish him as a goal line threat. But I think the first few games, Graham had some goal line catches. So my point is, if that's all if you're gonna play Jimmy Graham this few, you know, that less of a time in the game
for a few plays,
then what's the point of paying him that much money when you could have just moved him and kept Kyle Fuller? Because clearly your secondary is, I don't know if it's coaching or what it is, but these guys are not even on the screen. Then you draft a corner in the 6th round that you end up having to cut. So not only did you didn't even fix it in the draft, because why? You draft a guy that didn't even make the team. I don't know if he's on the practice squad.
He is.
Is he on the practice squad? Okay.
He is.
So I was expecting him to contribute to the team this year. But the way they're looking right now, I don't know. And if you think about it, these are not the best receivers they're going to face. They better fix this secondary real fast, because this game, if the Rams had looked better offensively early in that game, and it was nothing the Bears was doing, it was just the Rams I think was just comfortable, because the Bears was not doing anything offensively, and the Bears gave them 2 short fields. But if they had did something a little bit more and had a better running game where they could establish more play action, which they really didn't need it because the guys were already open. But The Bears going to have a long season with the secondary if they're getting burnt like that. I mean, like I said, these ain't even the top receivers. I mean, their best receiver is Cuff. And you wait till you start getting these other guys that's these 4-3 speed guys on you. I mean,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You got a young secondary right now, and you don't know what they're gonna be. And the thing is that you've committed to that, but you've committed to having a young secondary because you feel like your front seven is going to be able to get pressure. And because your front seven ain't getting pressure, your back end is being exposed. And that's what happened tonight. I don't think the Bears had a sack tonight. I'm not looking at those stats, and I don't know. But just my recollection of the game, I don't think the Bears. Okay, they had one. And Jared Goff dropped back a lot of times. So, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're not getting no pressure on the quarterback, your secondary is going to be exposed. And I don't care if your secondary is a young secondary or a veteran secondary. If you don't get no pressure on the quarterback, your secondary is going to be exposed.
Yeah, you know what? If you can't cover your man, at least you better know how to tackle him.
Well, that's true.
At least tackle him, because you know what? Because if you can't cover your man, let him catch stuff underneath you and you tackle him. But what we were saying was, even when they caught stuff in front of the Bears, you seen them running through tackles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's uncharacteristic of a Bears defense of allowing guys to run through tackles. And you know what? They only dropped back 26 attempts. So the Rams actually had a pretty balanced offense today.
Mm-hmm.
It just they did a lot of their passing through the first three quarters, and then they started running more. What was that, guy?
Two things real quick. It was a lot worse than we thought it was, because imagine if the Bears defense went up against that Tampa Bay team that played the other day. You'd have been looking at 52, and it wouldn't have been Khalil Mack's jersey. It'd have been probably the number of points if I go into the fourth quarter. One. Number two, I hate to say it, but every defense that we've had with the secondary that was pretty decent, or look around the league, the successful ones, you got covered guys, but just like in any sport, you need that one goon. You need that one guy. He's going to make a tackle. He's going to be the last man back. But when he hits you, he's going to knock you out and get a penalty. As great as receivers are, if you can get some type of break or whatever it is, even if it's a smidgen of one, at least you can make some receivers blink a little bit when they know it's a goon back there that's going to try to clothesline them or do something like that. We ain't even got no diaper changes back there. It's like this. You want to catch the ball? You get him. No, you get him. No, get him. And the receiver right here. Order is playing like 1, 2, 3 red light. The receiver's like red light. And they just stop, and the receiver go in. But we need a goon back there. We need some guys to play. And like I said, I always talk about the tripping thing, and people probably kind of take it out of context, but you think about the mathematics of it all. If I trip you, you're going to get a penalty, but you're not going to score. If they were able to, like, not run into each other like they did on that one throw, you could have tripped the guy. You could have took a nice little hit, and they still would have had to try to bring it in. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Hey, let's have a quick flashback real quick from last season. Let's do a little flashback.
And on Twitch TV, but I just want to recap our scores real quick. We have guys, the Bears winning 24-20. Plank has the Bears winning 25-23. Yeah. Tammy has the Bears winning 33-30. I have the Bears winning 38-33. Jay has the Bears losing 38-17. And Mike.
Hey, look, I got Jay. You got me going into witness protection, Jay. I don't even
see.
know.
Hey, you know what? I take it from Will. Oh,
who is Jay?
Yeah, you know my cousin Peebo.
Yeah, I don't know no Jay. I don't know no Jay. Boy,
I just need a good laugh, man, because this game.
man,
It is what it is.
I
It
look
is what
pretty
it
good with
is.
that. I look real good with that beard, man. That's all I got to say about that.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Even the Bears lost today. I'm so excited that Green Bay got their ass handed to them.
I'm glad they lost, but not on that. Boy.
Jameis Winston put it on them today.
You talking about the backup from last year?
Yeah. And the thing about it is, seriously, it's one of those things where getting off Bears talk for a minute. But it's what's one of the things is where when you get to the point where you as cocky as you are, and you feel, because to me, Aaron Rodgers looked like he didn't even want to play today. And it kind of showed up in his affect. And I'm just like, I just hope they continue for the rest of the season.
Man,
I just hope they
You have the blue flu football style.
Hey, I just hope none of y'all got State Farm insurance because they've been doing bad lately. Everybody that's been advertising State Farm, him, Chris Paul, all of them, they all been getting whooped.
He got that discount double check and tried to pay for it. His card got declined.
Shit, you might not be able to cash in on the claim, man. It's with State Farm. They've been losing.
Hey, so Tammy, I have a question. From watching this game, do you think this game, after you really think about it, was this game winnable today?
Oh Lordy. Was it winnable? It was winnable at a point. And I mean, even as bad as our defense was, and they were bad. I think with more effective play calling, the offense could have put up some more points and we would have had a better chance of making it viable to win, even as bad as our defense was.
Okay. Hey, Guy, did you think this game was winnable after you kind of have this post-game discussion?
Look what they did on that drive. They ate up 9 minutes of clock and ran it down to the end zone. And then, but the point is, all they had to do, a little better clock management, run the damn ball more. You know what I'm saying? They could have, but after when the third quarter started hitting stride, it was like, they had a chance. That game could have been winnable. But just like you were saying, when you put Fields in there, maybe they lose the game. But now you got a guy that's sitting back there that you got an extra running back / quarterback. But yeah, it was winnable to a point, just like Tammy said.
Hey, Jay, do you think this game was winnable?
This game was winnable. If you got a play caller that's going to stick to the plan. You're down, if I remember correctly, you're down 13-7 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They get the ball second half, but at the same time, yeah, the game was winnable. The game was absolutely winnable because you don't panic when you're down by a touchdown with 2 quarters to go. I've said that for the last couple of years. You do not panic when you're down by 3, 7, or 10 in the second half. You got time. If you run your offense and your defense is playing well, you got a chance. So, yeah, this game was winnable. It got out of hand because now you're going for it on 4th down. I was like, do the Bears have an active punter on the roster? Because they ain't putting the ball at all today.
Yeah, he's the best player on the team.
Right.
He's the best player on the team.
Do you have an active punter on the roster? So this game was winnable.
Man.
Bad coaching.
Hey, quick, was this game winnable?
Yeah, because it was 0-0 at the national anthem. I mean, hey, I remember on Thursday, there was this good-looking guy that was on this show, on the pregame show, that said that the Bears defensive line hater, that the Bears defensive line has to get pressure. And if you ask our secondary to cover at least 4 seconds, we're going to
Yep.
get torched. There was
Yep.
this very good looking guy. He almost looked like me.
Yeah.
It was
Almost.
me. But
It
anyway,
was you.
and so that's exactly what happened in the ball game. I also came on the show on Thursday and said that the Bears need to have an identity and run the football. Hey, I can't make this stuff up, man. It was, like I said, it was winnable because it was 0-0 at the national anthem. Other than that, man, Nagy has done the same thing over and over and
And
over and over again.
over
He's not going
again.
to change who he is, and we just have to accept it as Bears fans. Shout out to the White Sox who won today in the bottom of the ninth walk-off home run. But we have to
Good business.
accept who he is because he translates over to the rest of our team. That's what I got.
You
Okay.
know what? And
I see
that
Andre,
handsome man.
right. I see
That
Andre,
handsome
one of our
man
viewers on
was talking
Facebook,
about
said the game was winnable. Hey, Jay, what do you say? Thanks, Jay, for hanging with us tonight. Jay is one of our guests that came on tonight.
Jay.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, guys. This absolutely was winnable. The problem, like, even at halftime, even in the third quarter. And the problem, but the problem is Nagy's getting in his own way. I was getting in an argument with somebody on the Banter page, and I don't remember who that was. And I wasn't trying to start a fight or anything, but
You were. Was it drinking ball?
yeah, defense was horrible.
I'm with you, brother.
The defense was absolutely horrible. But at the same time, it's a chicken and an egg thing. If the defense is bad, the offense has got to make up for it. If the offense is bad, the defense has got to make up for it.
Absolutely.
Nobody was making up for nothing. And that Nagy's getting in his own way and trying to be cute. Stop being cute and just show me some basic football. You got a workhorse and a running back that you keep taking out every 3 plays to spell. I know I think it looked like he got hurt there or jammed his finger up or something at one point. I didn't think Damian Williams looked terrible, but it wasn't necessary for him to be in as nearly as much as it was. And move the ball downfield. That's your only job on the offense is move the ball downfield. Too much side-to-side stuff. Too much.
Yeah, but that chicken is a Harold's and that egg is scrambled.
Damian Williams got a whole lot of more plays than he should have got. And that's all I'm saying.
Thought about that.
That's all I'm saying.
What the defense needs to get as a gift, some pliers. Like you run up there, can't nobody catch it, and use as necessary.
I agree with Pablo was saying. I think this game was winnable today. I do think Nagy got in his own way, and Jay say this all the time that Nagy doesn't call the game that's in front of him. A prime example of that is the first run play you break or whatever, 40-yard run. Guess what? You give it to Montgomery again. You don't take him out and then pass the next play. You know what? I take this from New England's playbook, maybe not the current New England this year, but New England will run the same exact play until you stop it. They're running 3 or 4 times in a row until you stop it.
There is no reason.
7 Super Bowls later.
And so,
and
so there goes back to the same thing offensively. When the Bears seemed like when they got to the 20 into the red zone, they had already pre-scripted that Fields was going to come in the game, regardless of what the momentum was in the game. Like you bring him in one play to throw a shuttle pass, that makes absolutely no sense.
None at all.
Like Jay said, that was a Mitch Trubisky play. You didn't get him to come in and run a shuttle pass, then go back to the bench. That makes absolutely no sense. Now the naked boot that made it look. It wasn't a naked boot, but he rolled out and ran in. Okay, that play made sense. Defensively, this game was winnable up until the point that they started giving up points, because really the game was 13-7. I'm sorry, 13-7 for almost 3/4 of the game. Right, the game they're getting blown open into the fourth quarter, but that was because. But the defense going to have to fix whatever that issue is as far as the secondary and getting pressure. If your guys can't cover, then you got to get pressure. If you can't get pressure with those front four, you're going to have to play. Offensively, they got to move all the field. and stop taking Montgomery out. I'm looking at Damian Williams. I mean, he's dancing. He had a couple of times when he ran outside, and he's dancing. Get up in there and get them yards. You know, it's 3 or 4 yards while you just dancing around. Get those yards. And Dalton was efficient tonight, but he's not making no plays. Some of those were just completions to the side just for the stat line. You throw you got 3rd and 8, you throw a 6-yard pass. You had to bring out your punter. That's irrelevant. There really was no deep field threats, even though they had a lot of speed on offense. So the Bears going to have to move the ball upfield. I understand that the line is not that good, but that's where the play action comes. But if teams only think you're only going to run on 2nd down and you never run on 3rd, then on 3rd down, they just going to pin their ears back and put pressure on your quarterback. So one of the things I still see with the Bears at times offensively, it's predictable what the Bears are going to do. You know what the Bears – what is that? You got there. Let me see what you got. Exactly.
That's my contribution.
So, hey, we about to get ready to
They lose. They
close
lose.
out. Anybody got any closing remarks? Anybody got any closing remarks before we close out tonight?
Yeah, I just want to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go, Jay.
Whoever that is, go ahead. I just want to say, you know, it was kind of like, are we gonna win week 1? And we didn't. Nobody predicted us to win week 1. Now we going into week 2 with Cincinnati. Guess what? Cincinnati scoring points. They beat Minnesota today. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if we start off and go 2-0-2 with Cleveland week 3,
oh yeah,
we got problems. We have problems for real. So we'll see what happens. What happens, but it's not looking good right now. With the way this defense played tonight, it's not looking promising. It's not looking promising.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Thank you for watching us tonight. Peace.